Bullish on the markets. Got really bullish targets. All right, okay. Come through with something new for today. Topic, as I would say, is how I became a better investor using a free app called Vestly. So, there's a problem out here, right? Investing is not really fun for a lot of people. I know that a long time ago, I used to think investing was lame, man. It's like, man, investing's so lame. I'm not trying to play that game. But what I realized was I wasn't looking at it from the right perspective, right? It was just lame from people that I saw in it. And I was like, I'm not trying to be in that. So anyway, there's a problem out here. Really, investing is not fun for most people. I know me, myself, and when I started the investing thing, it was really cryptocurrencies that got me interested in investing. And now I'm more interested in investing in all types of markets. I always enjoyed learning about, geopolitical issues, always enjoyed travel, always enjoyed knowing what was going on with the world governments and how everything kind of tied together. However, I didn't really understand that really, was the backbone to understanding investing, right? I didn't really understand that would really, provide the foundation for me when I started investing later in life, which was really just a few years ago, that I pretty much already had a head start because I understood this stuff so well and I had been following it for so long. And there's so many different areas of investing. But anyways, the problem is most people don't find it fun. I can relate to that. Now I find it very interesting. Well, there's a solution for people that do not think investing is fun, right? Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not something worth pursuing, in my opinion. So what I would have to say, if you're trying to be winning on investing, which I think is one of the best sources of passive income out there, right? Because you're actually putting in the least amount of work. It's probably got some of the most risk when you look at it from a monetary perspective. However, the better you understand investing, the less risk you're going to be taking.
You're gonna have a bankroll so big, when you walk down the street, it's gonna look like your pockets got the mumps.
Yeah, this Vestly app, right? It's basically a way to make investing fun. It's an app you can get on your phone, probably just use it on the computer too. And I'm gonna talk about what it is. It's a biz. However, it doesn't make money off people. It's free to join. It's a free app, right? None of that paid crap where you have to pay just to play, because if you're doing that anyway, you might as well just be putting that money into investing. So what it is the app makes money because a lot of people use it and they have advertisements. The advertisements are not intrusive at all. They're very small, really pretty much on the top of the thing. So what it is it's a free app where you compete against thousands of other people, tens of thousands of other people for cash prizes. And it's basically a monthly thing. So you make investments, you pick stocks, that you're buying with, fake money. You don't buy a certain amount of it. You basically just pick a stock, whether you want to go long or go short. Basically, whether you want to go long or go short. And what happens, if you're going long, you're buying it. If you're going short, you're selling it. You want the price to go down. So you pick, they want you to pick like 3. And basically you get points based on the percentages that you generate each month. And then they compare these points to other players, other people who bought these stocks. So basically, you win cash, and it's something like $10,000 about, I think they give away each month for free. Trust not what you hear on TV, because sometimes they got a objective that's not easy to see. By the way, make sure you go and smash up the light, shoot it up, hit it, click it. You got the touch screen, you got the mouse, you got the keyboard, whatever it is. go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. I got the thing off in the bottom corner of the screen where you can click that says subscribe to, so you can get the news that I'm bringing to you every day. Something new to say. So basically what you can win on Vesley is I believe first place pays you $3,000, second place pays you $2,000, third place pays you $1,000, and then it breaks down into smaller increments. Like the next 10 people maybe win 100. Then after that, you know, a bunch of people win 25 bucks, a bunch of people win 10 bucks. But basically, like the top 100 people all get paid. I'm currently in second place as I speak, as I talk, right? I'm in second place. Like, I can't believe it. Well, now I can believe it because it makes sense as to kind of like the strategy that I use in my understanding. But yeah, I went from like within the same week, I got up to like 13th place. Then I got up to like 4th place, and then the next day I was at 3rd place, and then the next day I was at 2nd place. And you know I'm going for 1st place because that's really the race I'm in. That's like a competition side of me. That's like the game that I want to be playing. So, you know, there's no saying what can happen. I mean, I got a pretty good lead ahead of a lot of people under me, but, you know, one day, you know, can change everything. So I just got to stay up. You know, it's not the time to be just trying to like hold my place. Like, still got to take that risk because it's a game. It's different from the way I would actually invest if it were real life, right? If I had real money, it would be a different strategy. So basically my strategy for Vesley, what I figured out is like in real life, you know, if you sell stuff quicker than a year, like if you're only buying something to hold for a month, you got to pay a lot of taxes on that, right? So in real life, if I only had to pick 3 stocks, I had a couple $1,000s on each one, I would be picking like, you know, the Apples and the Disneys and the Alphabets, you know, the really stable ones, the ones that are gonna grow steadily at a small increase, like, you know, hopefully every other day or something, and like, you know, they're not gonna take any, you know, big crashes for the most part. They're gonna be, you know, the safest bet for my money. However, with this Vesley, right, you want to get the highest points. So if you're just trying to play it safe like you would want to do in regular investing, that's a different story. Now, if you're doing like swing trading for like a month at a time, that might be a different issue. If you're doing day trading, I mean, that's on like a totally different issue because you're scraping after like a couple percents every day. However, when you're doing that swing trading, say you're doing a month-long swing trade, you might want to find, you know, a stock that's going to make you maybe like 5%, maybe like you're lucky, like 10 to 15%, which is like nothing what you could be making on crypto, but that's another story. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is my strategy is, I found some stocks that really had like, had kind of like, you know, they had reached a bottom. And the main one that I found that I thought, okay, this has a lot of potential to shoot up sometime in this month, right? Like it's at its bottom from what I can see. So most likely I'm not going to be losing a lot of points, even if it keeps going sideways for a while. But sometime in this month, it's probably going to take a big bounce up. Because basically when you're looking at charts, when you're looking at investing, the longer something is going sideways, once it's kind of like bottomed out and it goes sideways for a little bit, if it starts to go up, you know, it could go up a lot, but most likely in most cases it's gonna just go up a little bit and it's gonna go up slow. The longer that pressure is building up and it's staying at its bottom, when it finally does go up, the longer it stays at the bottom, bigger it's gonna go up, right? So what I did was I found the main stock that I found for this month when I decided to change my strategy up was Beyond Meat. Now, this is something that I put money into anyway, right? Because I think, you know, that's a smart thing, right? Like, it's better to eat the majority vegetables, especially if you're trying to be productive, if you're trying to be focused, if you're trying to be successful, you want to keep a clear mind, and you eat too much meat, and that's gonna like waste a lot of your time because you're gonna be like all bogged down, not to mention like your body's gonna be feeling kind of some type of way, but that's a different topic for a different day. So getting back to what I'm trying to say is really, I found Beyond Meat. Now this is a company that makes basically like the burger for Burger King, where it's the Impossible Whopper or whatever they call it, where it looks like the real Whopper, but it's actually it looks like a burger and it tastes like a burger, but it's made from plants. So that's what this company is. It's a vegetable company, fresh vegetable. Probably not that fresh though by the time it gets to Burger King. But anyway, yeah. So getting back to what I'm saying, right? Like I could see the price. This company is only like a year old or something like that. That it maybe not the company's okay. So this company has only been traded for about a year, right? So when it launched out, it was at like $75, something like that. And then it quickly went up to like $250, right? Something like that. And then what happened was it quickly went back down just about as quick as it went up. And it bottomed out back to where the original price was. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see that as very good for a few reasons. Number one, I said the original price where it started, right? So that's what people were paying at the beginning. So for the most part, saying that, like, it's rare that people are going to be selling when that's what they originally paid. Another thing, that was like the bottomed out price. It had been bottomed out for at least a few weeks. Like it hadn't really been like going up or down too much from there. So I know that, okay, I'm not going to really lose any points even though it's going sideways, but hopefully some point this month it's going to bust. So what happened, for sure enough, it busted, and it busted up, and it went up something like, I don't know, it was like 50%, right? And another one too was Tesla. Tesla, man, I've been talking about Tesla since like, I remember back like June, July, when everybody on the media was saying how like Tesla's gonna fall off a cliff. Nothing good is gonna happen with Tesla. Elon Musk has gone crazy. Everyone was just trashing that man, just trashing that company. That they were even saying they were gonna kick him out from his own company and everything. And I was sitting there like, all right, man, that's Elon Musk. Like, look at everything this man has done. Like, he's like a Steve Jobs. Like, he's like a Bill Gates. Like, these people are just sitting behind their desk all day, like, focused on trading stocks. This guy's out here trying to make the world a better place. Like, they're just mad because like the price went down a lot and it's back down to like $150 or something like that when they probably bought it at like 300. So they're mad at him. Like, they want him to act a certain way when he cares more about basically like his mission than the bottom line for the stock price and everything. So anyways, that's like a different story, a different case for another day. Getting back to what I'm saying is really I saw that Tesla price and I was like, man, that's the perfect time to buy this thing. Like, I know Tesla is a good company. I believe in what they're trying to do. I know Musk is like a very, very, very brilliant genius. Like, this man just works and just stays focused on what he's trying to achieve. This is like the perfect time to buy this, right? And I was thinking like, oh, it maybe will like go up like 50% if I'm lucky. Well, what happened, man? This thing went up from like 150 to it just hit like 500, right? And I thought it was done like when it was back at like 250, and I had that in there. So basically, the other companies I was looking at were like Apple and Nvidia. So I wanted to like have like two companies that were just kind of like gonna go steady up, give me some points in the meantime, while this other one, while I was waiting for the Tesla or the Beyond to really like take off. So sure enough, that Beyond took off, and it was like 2 days. And what I saw was like after that like 2-day spike, I was like, okay, this is like a smaller market cap, meaning there's not much money in it. So I was like, all right, I'm already up in like the top 20 now. So I can see a lot of other people probably had these same stocks that like jumped up here and like kind of my competition real quick. So I'm gonna like, I could just try to like, play it safe from here. But I was like, no, like I'm not trying to win $100. I'm trying to win like the top, either like, 1,000 or 3,000, one of the top 3 spots. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep taking risks, So what I did was once it went up, once I saw, it had those big like 2-day runs, and all the media was saying, like the same people that were saying all this bad stuff about Elon Musk, saying all this bad stuff about Beyond Burger and how it had no future because it went back down to the same price it was. And all these people are saying like what a good investment this stuff is, and everything like that. So I'm like, yeah, you know, that's why you kind of got to be careful when you pay attention to what they're saying on the media, on the news and everything. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm gonna short this. So I changed it up and I was like, you know, I think it went up a little bit too quick, so I'm gonna short it. So sure enough, the next day or two, it goes down. So that pretty much took me from like the top 20 where I was like 13th place up to like second place. So the strategy right now, knowing that, like this is where really, this is like, I can see how this teaches me to be a good investor, because like if you have never actually had real money on a stock, then you don't know that what it's like, right? You don't know that mindset, because anybody can trade stocks all day long and not have any money invested in it, right? So you're just like playing with fake money. So then what happens when you do make a big, you know, move? What happens if you lose a lot of money, right? That's something to where if it's fake money, it doesn't matter. Like you don't feel any type of way, you don't feel any different. But when you have actual money on the line, like with this competition, right? Even though I don't have any money invested and I'm still learning, basically what happens is you look at it from a different perspective, right? Now it's like, okay, now it's getting difficult, because even though I'm already up in this, like, you know, in the money, I can't just like do nothing and stay there. Most likely I'll drop. Most likely other people are going to be hungry down at the bottom and they're going to be playing good and they're going to take my spot. So basically what I got to do is keep going for the top. So that's how I play it. I got to keep playing it like that, being a little bit cautious for a second if I'm not really too sure about, you know, like if I'm not seeing the market as like, you know, something to where like I have a pretty good idea what it's going to do, then I might switch up and then like get rid of the Beyond or the Tesla and go more with like the Apple and the Disney and the Google. So basically, yeah, it puts you in a mindset to where you're like, okay, you know what it's like to have money on the line, even though you don't have to risk any money. So you know what it's like, and you know how that can change your decision making. Because in the beginning, when you're like, you know, when you realize you're playing against like thousands of other people and you're just picking these stocks and there's nothing, you know, you don't feel like there's anything on the line, it's very simple, right? Just like when you put the money in real life. Now, let's say you make a ton of money, like you start to worry, like, okay, well, what if this goes down? Do I sell some now? You know, what do I do? And then what if it keeps going up and I sell it? Like all those thoughts are something you don't really understand when you're playing with fake money. You have to get real money in the game. You got to put that cash in to really understand this. So what Vesley is doing is Vesley is putting me in a spot where, you know, I actually have money on the line, and I'm actually like having to understand what it's like to make decisions now that there's actually like a profit being made already. And it's like, okay, well, now my decisions can affect whether I keep this profit, whether I lose this profit, whether I make more profit. So that's why I think Vesley has really made me a way better investor, because, you know, say I had put like a couple $1,000s on these stocks, like I wouldn't have even been making what I could make for free. Like say I make $2,000 or $3,000 at the end of the month, I would definitely be making more off just playing this Vesley free app than I would have had in real money in there. So it puts me in a spot where I can see what it's like to feel like I have real money in there, even though I have been investing for a few years and I already understand what this like situation is like. Vesley's showing me like, okay, wow, this is really a good tool for people who are trying to get into investing, people who are trying to understand this type of game. And it really turns it into a game for you. It really makes it so you understand what it's like to make it fun, to make it interesting, to make it competitive. Even though really I think with this kind of stuff, like that's the only really thing where I think like in real life when you're just, you know, investing, you don't want to be like trying to like beat other people. The only thing you really want to try to beat is like the indexes, right? So like if there's a, you know, say like the general market, say if that goes up like 10% in a year, and you're trading like, you know, or you're buying your own different investments, you would want to definitely do better than that 10% if you would have just put your money in like the general like S&P 500, something like that. So the way it goes is, yeah, this has made me a better investor. I can see how this can make you a better investor. Something I definitely recommend. Whether you're new to investing, check out Vestly. Whether you've already been investing, then you've already got like, some understanding. It only takes like, 5 minutes to like set whatever you want to set for the month. And then you just go from there. And basically, check out Vestly. It's gonna give you a heads up. What I find is really, this has made me a better investor because, it gets me thinking differently. It gets me thinking like how to take, bigger risks if I wanted to, which I don't really yet with the real money, but it's looking at somebody like me who's only been investing for a few years and doesn't want to take these big risks yet. It's getting me to start to understand like how to do that. So when the later day comes, when I see opportunities where I might want to make a quick trade, like over a month or something, like this is a really good tool to teach you how to make like month time frame swing trades. So basically like a day trade is a trade where you like buy and sell within the day. A swing trade is usually considered a trade where you're holding it for at least like 3 days, anywhere from like 3 days to like a month or two. And then there's like long term where you're holding for like a year or more. So basically, I found this is a really good tool for swing trading. And however, like if you don't know investing at all, if you're just trying to understand investing, then this is great because this is teaching you really how to think about it. This is making it fun. This is making it a game. This is really, but above everything, is putting money in the equation, because a lot of these other platforms like what they call paper trading, where you're playing with fake money that they call paper money. So you're like buying stocks or selling stocks, shorting stocks with, fake money. So if you win or lose, you're winning or losing fake money. So it's like, okay, no big deal. But with Vestly, if you actually start to rank and you get in that top 100, now you have the opportunity to make real money. And you're looking at it as like, okay, well, if I'm in 99th place, I could win $25. But if I could get up to first place, I'm winning $3,000, right? Or in my case, I'm in second place. So I've got $2,000 and I could just do nothing and stay in the money and probably win like $50 at the end of the month. Or I could stay, switch my strategy up, and like what I'm doing right now that I'm in second is for a little bit, I'm gonna play it cool and just try to get these like, a couple points each day and see if I can stay in the top 5, but also keeping my eye on the overall market like I would be doing anyway to see if there's anything that could be coming up, because what I'm guessing is I'm probably gonna need to make another like 10% if I wanna get like stay up in the top 5 or even get like first place. So for a little bit, I'm just watching to see like a good play to find a good stock that I think could make like another 10% before the month is over. But just for right now, just for like the next day or two until I find that, I changed and I got rid of the Beyond and the Tesla and just stick into like the Alphabet, Google, Apple, and Nvidia, which is like a computer company, a technology company. But anyways, all these companies have like really steady growth. So I'm not really putting myself at much risk, but I'm gonna kind of like stay in that top until I, not try to rush and like pick one stock today, like force myself to find one today that I think is gonna make 10%. But give myself a little bit of time so I have that like last week of the month to find something that I can really like make like another 10%. So it's putting me in the mindset to where I'm like actually like don't have to risk any money in real life, but I can win money. So for people who don't invest, this is putting you in a position where you actually like are thinking about, it puts you in a position where you have money on the line, right? Even though you don't have to like risk any money, it's getting you to understand what it's like to have money on the line when you're picking these investments, when you're making these decisions. Because a decision where you have no money on the line is very different from a decision where you have money on the line. And going into that, it's all relative. So, if you make like $100,000 a year and you have $100 on the line, like what's that to you, right? It doesn't really, it's not going to make you really like think any differently. However, if you make, you know, $20,000 a year and you have $100 on the line, like you're going to be in a very different spot, right? You're going to be like thinking about this differently, and it's going to affect your decision making a lot different than someone who makes $100,000 a month. So basically, this can make you a much better investor by using Vestly, because you're seeing what it's like to have money affect your decision making, right? And it all goes into like the psychology of investing, but that all goes into, at the end of the day, passive income, because investing is a form of passive income. You're using your money to make more money, and you have the risk of losing money. A lot of other sources of passive income, like the original sources of passive income I got into, it was more like a business, to where like, you know, well, I'm not putting any money in, but I'm putting my time in. So if this doesn't work out, I'm only wasting my time, which is really, to me, more important than money anyway. But that's a different topic for a different day. Sticking to what I'm trying to say. So yeah, this is a good way to become a better investor if you already are an investor, or else if you're not an investor yet. This is really, I think investing is one of the best ways that anybody can make passive income. You know, I feel like everybody in this world, especially, like you look at how the world is set up, how America is set up. Really, I mean, if you're working for your money, if you're going to a job, I believe that, you know, in the past maybe 30 years, wages have gone up like 10%. Unless you're like the CEO, which those wages have gone up like 2,000% or something crazy like that. So the people at the top are making all the money when it comes to working. If you're at the bottom, you're paying the highest amount of taxes and you're making the least amount of money. A lot of people nowadays have to have, you know, 2 or 3 jobs just to support themselves and their families. But also, the people who now are getting rich are people who are investing, right? Not saying that you can't lose a lot too. I mean, you know, there could easily be a crash coming soon. Could easily get into investing and lose a lot of money. That's why you have to be safe. That's why you have to, you know, everything in life is like taking some form of risk. Like the more risk you take, the more reward you or loss you stand to gain or lose. So you want to cruise through it wise. You want to open your eyes and avoid the traps. So that's about it for my raps. Make sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. Leave any comments or questions. If you already use Vestly, you want to talk about your own strategy, that'd be awesome. You know, leave a comment. If you haven't already, any questions you got about it, make sure you go ahead and write them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Subscribe if you haven't already, coming through with new information steady. Gotta be ready. From the beginning to the end, there is no end. So just stay focused, my friend. When they try to push you, don't bend.